What's up, YouTube? Peach Booty here again with another episode of ASS Analysis. If you're new here, it's where I talk to you guys about my own experiences and opinions on different video game asses. So this ass we have today is Kitana from Mortal Kombat. Now, I never used Kitana back in the old school days with the first couple of Mortal Kombat games. I really like Sub-Zero, and if you guys have been watching my other ASS analyses, you probably realize that a lot of these characters I didn't necessarily start with right away in their series, outside of Peach and Mika with Alpha 3. But Mortal Kombat is another one of those games where in the past 10 years, they've really focused on adding butt attacks to characters, which, me being Peach Booty, obviously I love that. So Kitana's pretty much had one butt attack added, and then it stuck with that one butt attack, but that one butt attack itself got things added to it with every release from Mortal Kombat or Mortal Kombat 9. So Mortal Kombat 9 is where they change the popular square wave move, which was just kind of an aerial dash punch in the original Mortal Kombat games, and they actually made it more realistic by making it a booty bump, where Kitana would jump in the air, propel with her fans to push herself back, and then hit the opponent with her ass. But that's all it was. It was just a regular special move. They just changed it to a booty bump, but there was no added effects to it. No brutality, no fatality with it, no other added extra moves with that ass. It was just the square wave, but a booty bump this time. And when it comes to Kitana's body, they didn't have too much crazy stuff with how thick Mortal Kombat characters are. I feel like they always seem to have more narrow hips. They don't have the really curvy wide hips. Some of the games they have fatter asses than in others, and Mortal Kombat 9, you could say, sure, the women were quote-unquote hot. I always thought they looked almost too masculine. Like, again, they kind of had narrow hips, and I guess boob-wise, it was better, but I kind of think the Mortal Kombat 9 looks are a little bit overrated for the women. It doesn't necessarily get better. It gets better in some ways, worse in others, but let's just go back to the butt bumps. So then in Mortal Kombat X, the square wave got a brutality called Back It Up. And that's when I really started liking Kitana a lot, and then I mained her in Mortal Kombat X. And it's basically if you jump in the air and you use her square wave, if it kills the opponent, it'll literally destroy their entire upper body. Like, this is the first butt attack that not just like knocked out, or even not just killed, but like fully destroyed, decapitated, took out the entire torso above of the body. It was the first like bloody kill type butt attack that I can think of in video games. It was somewhat tricky to land, however, because you had to deflect a projectile with a different move or other special move. And if the character doesn't have projectiles or anything like that, that part of it would be hard. But you had to just do that once in a match. Then you had to end with the square wave. But you had to be in the air when you did it, and they had to be on the ground, since it only takes off the upper torso of the body. And then obviously you have to kill with it too. So it was a little trickier to land. But then in Mortal Kombat 11, they added another effect to it. So they actually made the brutality Back It Up easier to land, because you didn't have to be in the air this time, and you didn't have to reflect the projectile. You just had to kill them, and I think your HP either had to be lower than 40% or above, somewhere around there. It was like a HP requirement thing, and then you just had to kill with it. And the opponent still obviously had to be on the ground, but you could still do it when you were on the ground. And then they added the crushing blow, which was also sort of tricky to land. It had to be like the counter hit from full screen. And the fact that I actually got it in the story mode. On my first try against Shao Kahn, I've thrown that in my Kitana videos in the past, and that was hype because that was hard to land, and I killed Shao Kahn with it, and then it shows him laying down all bloodied. So Kitana definitely has one of the deadliest asses for sure. I just wish it was bigger. That's really kind of the main thing. It's like some characters will have huge asses but no butt attacks, like Twintel, and then some characters will have great butt attacks or one really good butt attack, but their butt just isn't that big. Like Kitana, still hot obviously, but again, in Mortal Kombat, women tend to lack hips and they only have fat asses in certain games. But then they also, to make it even more deadly, this was around the time I didn't really play Mortal Kombat 11 much anymore, but they added some sort of like armor break mechanic or something to make it even do more damage, which is absolutely crazy. And then when it comes to the other characters, the Edenians in Mortal Kombat, you also have Sindel and Mileena. And Mileena had a brutality, a buttality of her own, where after she would snap the character's arms, she would be on the back of them, and then she'd jump up and land her fat ass on the back of their head, and their head would explode if you get the brutality for that. And then she also came into Mortal Kombat 11 later, and it was a tower move you had to unlock where she got the same back it up brutality that Kitana had. And maybe even the crushing blow too, I forget exactly which one it was. But I also really love the Sindel trailer that somebody actually commented on my Kitana video on YouTube to tell me to check out the Sindel trailer like the day it was out. And when I saw her block Kitana's booty bump and then do her own, and it also to have a crushing blow, was great. So the only one we've seen for Mortal Kombat 1 now is Kitana, and they just aptly named the move Booty Bump, and it works a little bit more like Sindel's, which is just part of like a normal string, but it looks really useful, and it's for a launcher, and I can guarantee you that thing's going to have some sort of brutality, buttality. If she had a fatality with her ass, that would be absolutely amazing. But I could see a brutality working with where maybe you have to launch with it and then also end with the move too and get a kill with it. Like you do a booty bump into a launcher and then you end with the booty bump, something like that. Because I have a feeling she'll have a brutality where obviously you kill with the move, like pretty much all brutalities. And I'm just assuming to make it harder, they'll probably be like, oh, you gotta start with the booty bump, like you gotta launch with it and then end with it. I'm just guessing, but I'd be shocked if that doesn't have some sort of either brutality or some mechanic put behind it. But again, this was all one butt attack. It's one of my favorite butt attacks. It's still like a pretty useful move too, but the brutality, the crushing blow, the armor break, and now the launcher for all just this one butt attack that's kind of changed from like the square wave to now just a booty bump is the main reason why I main Kitana, and I will definitely be getting Mortal Kombat 1 and using Kitana as well. Here's to hoping that she has, you know, a brutality and especially a fatality with her ass in some way, the royal throne if you want to call it that would be amazing. So that's everything on my Kitana ASS analysis. And again, this is something I try to do daily. I haven't done it exactly daily this week, but this is one of those things that I do at least like every other day, or just try to get it out as much as possible. And I still am working on the butt battles too. I try to focus more on those on the weekends, but it doesn't necessarily mean I won't do the ASS analysis on weekends as well. It's just kind of one of those things I put out whenever I can, and I try to get out as much as I can. So we're probably going to be sticking to fighting game characters with Evo this weekend, and next week will probably carry into that, and then I'll do more characters like Bayonetta and Samus and some of the favorites I haven't done yet. But otherwise, you guys can subscribe to see those, like the video, comment on what you think of Kitana's ass, and I'll see you in the next one.